Hello, Meet. Welcome to our platform Student Speak. Today, we will speak to you about your academic journey, your experience as a student, your way forward plan, research mechanism in selecting your study abroad destination, course, college, and other future plans. This conversation of ours will be uploaded on Avant's YouTube channel, website, and other social media platforms for our student audience. Shall we start, Meet?
Of course.
Great.
After my 11th grade, I went for a student exchange program to Brazil, which I would say was a life-changing experience for me. And then once I came back after a year, I pursued my 12th in Pune, so at Symbiosis College. And after that, I pursued my BCA, now it's known as BBA in computer applications. Now, I was always interested in the world of management and tech coming together. And this degree was a perfect amalgamation for that. So that's how my bachelor's journey started. I graduated in November 2020. Because of the pandemic, we had to give our exams a little later. Mm-hmm. So yes, that's my academic journey so far. This is interesting to me, but an interesting fact is that I first selected France and I almost went ahead with it. But an in-depth research revealed that English-speaking country is more beneficial to me because I also want to work part-time. Even though my study is being funded, I think it's a good habit for me to work part-time, which is difficult in a non-English speaking country. So that limited my options to US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and Ireland. And I selected Ireland because the return on investment that Ireland provides is very good. It's not very expensive. And Dublin is known to be the tech hub of Europe now. Almost all the European headquarters of tech companies like Google, Netflix, Facebook, Microsoft are all in Ireland. So I think being closer to where you want to be is essential as well. Because while Canada is increasingly becoming popular, it's important to know that whether your industry is booming there. So yeah, that's where Ireland takes off all the points. So I'll be joining Technological University Dublin, or TU Dublin as it is commonly abbreviated. Now, the reason I chose TU Dublin is because it is increasingly becoming a popular destination for good, because it was known as Dublin Institute of Technology. And in Ireland, the highest form of any college is being a university. And right now it has now become a university, TU Dublin. Okay. So the way it has been increasingly improving their academics, I found it extremely good for me. And because it is very technological focused university and I'm doing a management course, again, it's the best of both worlds. And the way they treated me while interviewing, while helping me understand how this course could help me. Because you can tell a lot about a university when they help you before you're a student. Once you're a student, every university is there. But how they treat you before you join them, I think it was extremely helpful and it aligns with where I want to be. And of course, it is in Dublin. So I think TU Dublin, again, checks off all the points. Yes, so my course is called MSc in Strategic Management. Now that includes all aspects of management, but it's specially focused on project management. Now I've been working in business development for last few months, and project management is where I want to be. And this course is very hands-on, where as a final examination, you have to submit a consulting project where they give you a real life problem of a company and you have to put in your perspective how you're going to solve it. So the way this course is structured is it includes cost management, financial management, project management, business consulting, and so on. So I think it covers everything and it gives a more hands-on experience about where you want to be in your career. So yeah, that's the reason I chose this. And an interesting part of their structure is that they don't teach project management as a, every Wednesday or every Thursday. They have project management days every 2-3 months, which is completely focused there, and it takes a whole day. So this structure is something which they experimented a few months back, and it has worked out well for them and for the students. So I think, yeah, another part of the university is that they are not afraid to experiment and see what works out well. So yes, again, this is extremely helpful from where I want to be aligned in my career. Yes. So this might contradict what I'm saying, but while I'm interested in the tech industry, I'm not much into coding or programming. I'm more into implementation, program management, partnership management, and so on. So yes, while BCA gave me the best of both worlds, tech and management, I think somewhere I want to be more focused on management, which is about projects. So again, that's when I saw their curriculum and it aligns well with where I want to be. So yes, that's the reason why it might seem slightly different from what I did before, but honestly, it's not, because it's just focusing more on management. That's about it. Yes, I spent a lot of time on the research, and that's the reason I was quite late with my applications, because I wanted to make sure that I'm investing in the right place, because it's just not a matter of 40, 50,000, it's in lakhs. So yes, the most important thing, which in fact I'm advising to prospective foreign studies students, don't look at a country like, they have very good visa policies or many students are going there just for the sake of it. Research whether your industry of the industry of your liking is good there, because I mean, Canada, you can say it has good financial services sector, but I won't say the same thing about that tech sector. So that's why Ireland made sense for me. So first thing is, yes, narrowing down the options of where that industry is good and will provide you opportunities. Second one is, how is the funding going? So if it's absolutely essential for you to work part time, then your options are limited to English speaking countries, unless you're very fluent in another foreign language. And by very fluent, it means C2 level or at least C1 level, because being A1, you can just read the grammar and everything, but you cannot speak to people. So that's the another mechanism which I use, which made me cancel the option of France. Third one is evaluating the ROI. I mean, yes, some university in an Eastern European country will seem very cheap. I mean, cheaper than India. But you have to check once you graduate, are you able to, whether you have taken a loan, you will be able to repay that loan, or whether you will be able to justify that cost. So again, ROI research is the third part. I think these are good research mechanisms, because I'm sure all people, everyone is selecting safer countries. Right. No one is going in a very dangerous territory. So I think that's pretty obvious. But yes, I think evaluating if that industry is good there and evaluating if you're getting good ROI, I think you're good to go once you do your due diligence. Yes. The best platform, I would say, and this is something which I've been doing not just for my, study purposes, but even for my professional life. First thing is Quora. Quora is a good platform because it's not very mechanical. People who have actually studied there, they put their own reviews. It's not like a blog of a popular site where, it's all rosy and everything looks good. People on Quora, and I've found it, they give both pros and cons of any destination. Every destination has a con. So, if anyone comes across any disadvantage, please don't get discouraged. That is one. Second is, I went on LinkedIn and I found alumni of those particular universities. And it is requested then that I'm planning to apply there. I would love to understand 2, 3 things about that university. Do you think we can connect? Surprisingly or unsurprisingly, people are willing to help. I mean, we may think that, whether that person will have time, but I think somewhere maybe that person also went through the same stage. So they are willing to help. I think LinkedIn, I would rank number one, because that's where people told me all the good things and the bad things. Somewhere they made me more humble as well as excited at the same time. So I think, yeah, LinkedIn and Quora are good. I would suggest don't go for, posts written by consultancies, because I mean, honestly, they write all the good things, which is not a problem, but you need to know the bad things because it's your money that is at stake, not theirs. So yes, don't go for any too good to be sounding true blog. Just go for Quora or LinkedIn. It's a hybrid model. It's both face-to-face as well as online. But majority, I would say 70% is on-campus courses, 30% is online. That's for semester 1. Semester 2, they are planning fully face-to-face lectures. But again, I mean, you never know which new variant comes at that time and what the situation is. But yes, again, that was important to me that I have some on-campus experience because I don't believe in investing lakhs of rupees in something which is delivered online. The most important part is networking, because I mean, you can go on YouTube and learn most of the things, but when you work with your batchmates on a project or something, that's an enriching experience. So yes, I mean, if it was completely online, I would have not opted for that university. So that's the mechanism that's being planned to use by my university. Yes. So while the lectures start on 20th September, our orientations start from 14th September. Okay. So, but it's an online orientation on 14th. On 15th, I have a on-campus orientation. And on 16th, there's a project management day, which I just mentioned that it's a day dedicated for project management. So it's expected that I be present on 15th September because 14th is online. But since I got a little late with everything, I'm yet to, visit the visa office, which will happen next week. So I'll be departing on 9th September. And it's a 5-day home quarantine for those who are fully vaccinated with Covishield, which is the case with me. So I don't need to do the 14-day hotel quarantine. So I'll reach on 9th, considering the time zone and everything. I'll be leaving on 9th and reaching on 9th. So I'll be quarantining myself for 5 days, which will end on 14th. And on 15th, I can attend the lectures. So I know it's very cut to cut, but the situation is such that we cannot have too many luxuries. So yes, I'll be planning to leave on 9th. TU Dublin, on their website, they have like 8 to 10 TU Dublin branded accommodations. By branded, they mean that they provide subsidized rates for people who are studying in that university. Mm-hmm. So I went through those lists and came across one specialized student accommodation where students from different universities in Dublin stay there. So I saw the prices and it was extremely cheap. I mean, Dublin is known for higher real estate costs. And even considering that, the rate I got was extremely cheap. And I'll be sharing my room with 4 more people. And, while that may seem like, 5 people in one room, I think I am looking forward to it because then again, if you're going there, might as well network as much as you can. So I think TU Dublin had a pretty straightforward, which is that these are the branded accommodations. You can opt for it or you can find your own. But, when they say it's a branded accommodation, it means that they trust these accommodations. So I went to their website and I paid the booking fee. And yes, so they have confirmed my place for the accommodation. So it was quite straightforward and didn't require much time investment from my end. Because they're specialized student accommodation, they know what the students require. They have a specialized library, training center, gym, swimming pool, and so on. And they have a separate room for those who want to quarantine once they are here. Where, of course, 5 people cannot quarantine in one room. So they have just one room for me. They're like, you can leave on 5th day and shift to your actual room. So that's the advantage of a student accommodation where they receive hundreds of students and they know what we need. Extremely smooth process. And I imagine that it would be chaotic because we know how many students leave India every year. So my first dose was on 1st June, where it was something I scheduled from the CoWIN app. And then I got to know that Maharashtra government has arranged special vaccination camps for those who are going for Tokyo Olympics and their studies abroad. So the way it works now, the Maharashtra government is not involved. Your local corporation is involved. So what PMC, Pune Municipal Corporation, has done is they ask you to write an email to, I forgot the email ID, studentvaccination.pune@gmail.com, something like that. And you just have to attach few documents, which is your passport, your acceptance letter, your visa if it's there, and whatever documents you can provide to prove that yes, you are actually requiring this vaccine. So they replied within 2-3 days, which is very good considering how many applications they received. And they gave me a token ID and they told that you have to go to Kamala Nehru Hospital, which arranges these camps every Wednesday or Thursday. And I went there and it was very smooth. They just scanned all my documents. They gave me my second dose. Extremely quick process. There were 500 students when I was there. So the volume they deal with is very, and of course the 30 minutes mandatory, relaxing there. So yes, it was extremely smooth and they were very responsive. And I would, appreciate the authorities for arranging this, because it is extremely important for students who are going abroad. Because if I am not vaccinated, then I have to quarantine myself at an airport hotel in Dublin for 14 days, which increases my costs like anything, because it's in euros, of course. So yes, I mean, I can imagine if I was not vaccinated with 2 doses, how my costs would look like. Yes, so I have my appointment next week. So I cannot comment on the actual day when you go to the visa office and what after. But it's quite straightforward where you apply from the Irish embassy website and just click, just arrange all the documents. So it's quite straightforward. And the most important thing is that you have acceptance letter from the university, which I would say is the biggest document. And yes, of course, the sanction letter from the bank, that is Avance. So yes, it's quite straightforward. You don't need to go through many hoops to go ahead with the visa process. So first of all, research the airline options. Some airports require you to either apply for a transit visa or quarantine at the transit airport, even if you're not leaving that airport area. So that limits the options, because then again, you apply for a transit visa or you quarantine, that increases your cost. So check which countries don't require any transit visa or quarantine. These require a negative RT-PCR test. So yeah, first of all, narrow down your options there. Secondly, websites like Make My Trip, they provide student discounts, which are really generous discounts. It's not just 1,000 or 2,000 rupees. It's around, I would say, 7 to 10,000. Plus, you get extra luggage allowance, which costs very much right now if you want to take extra luggage, because now airlines are suffering. So somewhere they need to recover their costs. So check on Make My Trip. I'm sure there must be other portals as well, but nothing I came across on my own. And yeah, I got a very good price for my ticket as well as my baggage allowance. That is second. And the flights get cancelled. There are certain airlines which are facing numerous cancellations. So check which airlines are reliable, that the chances of it getting cancelled are extremely low, because if you receive the news a day before that your flight is cancelled, you can imagine how much you have to pay for the new flight the next day. It's not in thousands, I'll tell you. So yes, book reliable airline. Yes. As you know, I got quite late because I had to cancel France for Ireland, which, again pushed my deadlines. So I heard that NBFCs are quite quick with their process as compared to banks, especially the public sector banks. So, and another thing was, I was clear that I want a, non-collateral loan, not some, because while there may be collaterals that our family has, I knew that I want to do everything on my own. If the responsibility falls on someone, it should be me, not on my family. So I knew that I won't mortgage anything and go for an unsecured loan option. Again, that limits the option to NBFCs. I applied to like 2 or 3 NBFCs. I'm not sure. It's been a while. And Avance was extremely quick with the way they responded to my query and the time they took to understand my urgency. And, everything after that happened so smoothly and quickly. So sometimes quickly means that things are not going well. But in this case, it was the opposite. When it went quick, they ensured that the quality remains the same. So I did not feel like looking at the other two options again, because I didn't have time to again submit documents to them, check when they get back to me. So yeah, I went ahead with Avance and everything was really smooth. And I was able to pay the 50% of my tuition fees on time, which confirms your place in the university. That's how they grant you the visa letters. If you're going for education abroad, even if you're pursuing it in India, for masters, always get some work experience, because MBA or any degree should not be your 16th grade. And okay, after 10th, it's 11th, after 12th, it's graduation, after graduation, it's MBA. Don't fall into that pattern. Maybe MBA doesn't make sense for you. Maybe you want to go into something specialized. That's something you realize when you actually work in a company. So I mean, to everyone, their opinion is different, but at least I would say get some work experience before you decide to pursue your master's studies specifically. And of course, the research part, which I mentioned, if you've decided you want to go do a thorough research, and don't rush into anything that, okay, I need to apply to this university because the applications are closing tomorrow. Don't do that. It's okay to wait for another intake, because it's not thousands, it's lakhs of rupees. And especially if you're taking a loan, you need to repay that. So go for something which makes sense. It is aligned to your interests. And yeah, do your due diligence. But I would say it's not an advice as such, because the way I'm seeing, students are really smart with the way they do their research. So I would not say I'm very qualified, but yeah, certain mistakes which should be avoided is going for a master's right after your bachelor's. I think that could backfire. And I appreciate Avance for coming up with this initiative, because if these series of videos something I saw, I know it would have been really helpful for me as well. So I can imagine how helpful it must be for future students. So yes, congratulations to Avance, and I hope many more students fulfill their dreams via this platform.